Kamal, so this game can be played with a larger group as well? Uh,
Uh, Not exactly. Like, the larger in the sense, 8 or 9 people are good. But if you go with that, like, that what we are trying to do here is to really understand each other, really create a bonding. So the
Got it.
more the number of people, it dilutes the whole purpose of the empathy or understanding each other. So I would definitely recommend it playing it with the teams, the leaderships, like kind of a circle. But if there are more than like 10 people, I think that will dilute the purpose of this game.
Got it.
Okay, welcome everyone. As I explained earlier, this is the game that I'm developing, or in fact, a workshop that I'm developing in terms of empathy. So I will be kind of doing some experiments here and then sharing information with you in terms of empathy, which is, I believe, is the kind of leadership skill that you need in these days specifically. Okay, a little bit about me. I'm Kamal Hans. I live in Boston area. I work for a company named Pega, but I do independent consulting. I do independent workshops. I teach at Harvard University as well as at University of Southern Maine, the IT courses. You can find me on LinkedIn, and happy to connect with you in case you have any other further questions. Okay, so the question, what do you see it here? Let me go back here and present. You can shout down, shout out, or type it here in Menti. What do you see here? Anyone?
I see a nail in the head, forehead.
See a nail in the head?
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Nail in the wall.
Nail in the wall, and she's sitting.
Nail in the wall, but like pretending like it's on.
As if it's in the head.
Kind of.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Initially it gave an impression as if it is a nail in the head. But then looking closer and then after hearing the other person, my mind started thinking the other way. So now I see it in the wall.
I can see clearly now.
Okay. Actually, let me tell you the story here. What is that? So it's a kind of a conversation between a husband and a wife, and husband is sitting in a couch. It's a video. If you YouTube it, you will find it. It's not about the nail. That's the name of the video. And she comes and then sits on the couch and then says, hey, my head is hurting a lot. And the husband says, oh, you have a nail in your head. Said, no, you're not listening. It's my head is like spinning. I feel so much pain. And then husband, why are you not listening to me? You have a nail in your head. And then she's again saying, oh, no, but my head is hurting. And he's saying, oh, no, let me take out the nail from your head. So they all started talking about that. And then at the end, she says, you need to start listening to me, like getting frustrated and saying that you need to start listening to me. And at that time, husband says, oh, yeah, okay, I think it must be very hurtful. And it's all about empathy at that time. Like when she's saying that, hey, my head is hurting, you are just looking at the nail, you are not feeling in terms of what she's feeling about it. It might be painful or it must be kind of a hurtful. So the idea about empathy is understanding people's emotion, understanding what is she going through and giving it a validation, not to give the solution, but just to validate that what emotions she's going through. And that what the empathy is. And this session that we're gonna talk about is why empathy matters and what is empathy, and then how we can foster empathy through the gamification. So that's the whole idea about this session. Okay, so what do you believe your job would be easier if we're better in building trust? What do you think?
Yeah, definitely.
Totally.
Definitely.
Yep.
And would you agree that when we understand people's better, that helps building trust?
Yeah.
Yes.
And do you believe that Joe would be easier if you are better at influencing others?
Yeah, always.
Comes down.
Of course.
Absolutely.
And do you also believe that when we understand better, we influence others better?
Exactly.
And do you believe that if you want to enable the collaboration, then it's better to do the job? Like your job is easier when we have the better collaboration.
Yeah.
And at the same way, like that when we
Yep.
understand better, we enable the collaboration better.
Yes.
Now the question, we all understand influencing other, building trust,
Yeah.
and enabling collaboration will be better, and then our jobs will be better. But still, we don't do it at some way. Any reason specifically?
Maybe we don't listen.
Maybe we don't listen.
Maybe we get lost in looking at the nail, the outcomes, the work, rather than
Yeah.
people as people, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Or
Any
maybe we
other
do it, but we need to enhance more, to connect more, to get to know more about it by doing something differently.
Yeah. So I will straightway here talk about empathy. Those are the all valid reasons that what we don't do it here. But one of the reason is we generally don't practice empathy. What generally we practice is understanding, like that yes, it is. So knowing is not equal to understanding. Knowing that the girl has a nail in her head is not your understanding. So when we are talking about, just because you know something doesn't mean that you understood what the person is going through. I'll give you another example here. We are going through a really tough time at the time of crisis now. Everybody is at home, and specifically the moms, I really admire them. Like, they have to work for home, and then they are working for like kind of the work that they are doing at the job level, and they have to take care of kids. They have to do many things. Of course, as a husband, we help, but they are going through a lot. And when a boss or a manager says that, hey, you're not available all the time the way you used to be available at the time when you are in office, is he really trying to understand? That's just a knowledge that he has, but he's not trying to understand what the other people are going through. So this is all about that. Like, you need to understand how the other people are going through rather than just having a knowledge of some information. So I'll just list down here a few things and a couple of more things, and then we will straight jump into gaming, a part of it. That's why we are here. But the whole idea here is like kind of an empathy and sympathy. Empathy is about, I am with you here. I am with you in your pain, in emotions, in the understanding. Other side, the sympathy is, oh, the poor guy. I'm not with you, but I'm seeing you, you are in pain. So that's the major difference. But there are the other things here in terms of like, that you are judging that in terms of like, yeah, he's poor. In the empathy part, there is no judgment. So if I'm trying to say that when we are trying to be empathetic, what are we trying to do is understanding what the emotions are. What is the person going through? And justify why this person is feeling the way it is he's or she is feeling. And then no judgment. That's what the empathy is. The next time when somebody want to talk to you, don't give him a solution. Don't try to kind of say that, hey, yeah, you are right, or I'm right. Just try to understand his or her emotions, and at the same time, try to understand why he's going through that emotions without any judgment. And that's what in the gaming that we're gonna do today. How? Let me share you a mural board. In the chat. Okay, so I want 4 players that who are courageous enough to play this game, put their name here. And in terms of like when you are playing with the team, you can have multiple, like, that I'm just putting it here 4, but it can go up to 7 or 8 or up things. You can design the mural the way you want to be.
Kamal, we have to put our name in the circle?
Not in the circle,
Players.
in the, that is the scorecard. So 0-0, that's the score that you have right now.
All right.
Okay. Does anybody has a problem with the mural board?
Yeah, I have connectivity issues. I won't be able to play, so I can just observe most probably.
Okay. Any other courageous person want to play?
I mean, if somebody can move this stuff on my behalf, then I can play, but I can't use the board is what I'm saying. So.
Okay.
Anurag, Sunil, Ricardo.
I can go. So let me go to the link.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
1 second.
Okay. You're in, Ricardo, now.
Yeah, should I change what card?
Player 2 says that you just changed to your name.
Okay, done.
Okay. So the first thing what we do is get to know each other a little bit. In your actual environment, you already know the team, or if the team doesn't know each other that well, so you go, you do the get to know each other activity, but otherwise you can skip the get to know each other activity. In terms of get to know each other, we will go one by one. Each person will introduce himself or herself and pick one question from the list of these 6 questions and answer that question, and as truthful as possible. So let's start with player 1, Rakhi. So introduce yourself to this group and then pick one question from these the 6 questions here, and then answer anything that you want from that question.
Sure. Okay, so my name is Rakhi and I belong from Chandigarh, India. I am a founder of a web design and development studio, and I've been working in this field from past 20 years. It's very recently I have shifted to, not shifted to, but I've started learning about Agile and Scrum, and that is how I got into this community. And if I have to pick one question from here, I think I will choose the thing I fear the most, and that is the fear of water. I'm very, I have this fear of drowning. Yeah, that's my biggest fear.
Okay.
That's it from my side. Yeah.
Okay. And we will move to the next person, Ricardo.
Yeah, so hi everyone. I'm from Colombia, but I live in Washington, D.C. And well, the question that I will choose might be, let's see. What is your most treasured memory?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have tons, but one of those was actually 1.5 years ago when I was in India for the Agile conference. That was just unbelievable. I can't stop telling people about that trip and all the food and all that stuff that you guys have there. So that is probably one of the best memories that I have.
Okay. I'll move to Manjari.
Hi everybody, I'm Manjari Kumar. I'm from India, right now in Hyderabad. I'm working as an agile coach in McKinsey. And the question that I would like to take is probably for what in your life do you feel most grateful? uh, so right now I feel very grateful to have a family with me, and my 2-year-old daughter. So with all this COVID and pandemic, this is the greatest joy that I could spend all this time with them right now, and I'm really counting my blessings. So probably that is what I'm most grateful of.
Okay. Cool. And the last player here is Naresh.
Hey, hi everyone. I'm myself Naresh. I'm from Bangalore, India, and currently I'm working with the Dell EMC, and I'm working as a release train engineer here. That's what I do. And one thing I can pick from here is that the place I feel most peace. I, I see couple, right? One thing I feel is when I go to any temple and when I do meditate, that's where I feel most peace, and because where I concentrate on one thing, and when I close my eyes and in a calm place, then I feel that is most peaceful place.
Okay. Okay. So now, not on the player side, the people who were observing, let's talk about emotions now. Like when people were talking about the introduction and then they were explaining or answering one of these questions, what other emotions did you see or felt it the other person is going through? Anyone?
I felt they were being honest about answering those questions. Honesty was definitely there. I mean, they were sincere. I would say that. So,
Or any other players that were observing other people answering those questions, how they were feeling the emotions?
Yeah. So
Yeah, so
when I
I
observed Manjari, sorry, please continue. I will talk later. Yeah.
no, I guess I was also saying the same, and you were also picking the same. So yes, I felt like when Manjari was speaking, and she was, you can say she was feeling so much joy of the things what she has been most grateful of, and we could, or we were able to feel it out, or by the expression or the emotions what she was telling about that. So yeah, joyfulness, joy, or maybe.
Yeah, that's right. So like, that you were feeling, she was feeling, sorry, Ricardo, I will just explain this and then I'll come back to you. And she was feeling joyful, and then the reason behind that joyful was that she's having fun with the family, and that's why she's feeling joyful. So understanding the emotions and then as well as why she's having that emotion is critical. That's the part of the empathy.
Yep.
Rocky or Ricardo?
Ricardo, you can go ahead.
I was going to say, Rocky, go ahead, but okay. So, ladies first, so you go first.
Okay, so Ricardo, now I'm going to talk about you. So when you were sharing about this time when you were in India and you loved the food, so I felt that that appreciation, the feeling of appreciation and excitement when you were here, and your experience, basically you were sharing your experience and you were happy experience basically.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Now my turn. So yeah, I think that everybody, all of us were kind of honest in those answers. But what I feel is that real emotion, that passion telling those things were not there yet. Maybe because we don't really know each other. Maybe because we haven't done anything to, break the ice. Maybe if we can have like an activity or a conversation, like a 3-minute, 5-minute conversation among us, at least the 4 people who were volunteering, that might be different. And even though the answers could be the same and maybe the same words, the emotion and the passion to convey would be completely different, I'm pretty sure. I mean, that's my perception. I might be wrong. But...
Yeah, you're 100% right. So that's why, that when you are doing this activity with totally stranger people, like we haven't met each other. This is the first time I'm talking to you. So it's a different activity. The more you spend time on maybe get to know each other a little bit more, maybe you're going to pick another questions, or you pick a question and then everybody answers it. So it's get to know each other is the fun part of it. But through the empathy game, you can get to know each other also better. So we're going to jump into that also. We are already playing this empathy game. But yeah, you're 100% right. When you know each other better, you have bonding better, you trust each other better, you collaborate better, and you understand each other better. That's the whole idea behind being empathetic. So I will explain now that how we're going to play the next part of it. So this is where the scoring will happen. So if you see this question, I'm going to bring everyone here. Okay, so what is the one thing that is sure to make you laugh? So now it's the player one, who is Rocky. So now it is in the hide mode. Nobody can see what you are doing. What you have to do is, what is the one thing that is sure to make you laugh? The amount of information you have about Rocky, and then we have answered many of those get to know each other questions. So based on that information, Rocky will pick one of that. Like say, for example, Rocky will say, someone we know who is funny. So she will put the name here, Rocky. And because this is Rocky's question, you are guessing what Rocky will pick here. So if Manjari says, okay, everybody is putting a Rocky here, so then we're going to see that how many people have guessed it right. And based on that, they will get the points. Is everybody clear?
Yeah, so only the players will play this?
Only the players will play this. So this one is question for Rocky. This is player one. So this is a question to Rocky. Thinking about Rocky, when you say that, what is the one thing that is sure to make Rocky laugh? So Rocky will pick one out of that. You will pick one out of all those 4s. And then we're going to reveal it. What was Rocky picking it up? Is if that is the same thing that you picked up, you get the score. Or other people, if he hasn't met the same thing, then nobody will get the score.
Okay, and nobody can see what we are picking?
No, nobody can
No.
see what you are picking.
All right.
Once I will reveal, then only we will know what everybody is picking. So does everybody?
It's too small. I don't know if I can just zoom it.
Yeah, you can zoom it. I can see that ask to be followed. Someone, everyone, now you should be able to see it.
Okay.
I have zoomed it.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Thank you.
So to do that, you just double click and then move that sticky into that area. Just put your name and move the sticky into that area.
So I pick my name from up there and put it there in that area down there.
Yes. Not the pick down. You can click on the new sticky and then bring it down.
Okay.
You could double click and then it will create the sticky. Like say, for example, this, it will create the new sticky. Okay, everybody good? Okay, and then now I'm gonna end the private mode. And you will see there are two Rocky here. There are
The
three
previous
Rocky.
one was actually. Okay.
Oh,
So
we have
imagine which one is you, that which one will make you laugh the most?
So do I answer that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wrote my name above being tickled.
Okay. So being tickled is the right answer. So let's see. Anurag says being tickled. He's not playing, but he got that 1 point. Then Naresh says a particular movie or TV show.
Yes.
Manjari, where are you?
Yeah, movie or a TV show.
Movie or TV show.
Movie or TV show.
And Ricardo. So technically, nobody gets the point here. Anurag gets the point here. If Anurag is playing, he will get 1 point. And then we will move to the next player here. Let me do the outline. So next player is Ricardo. So this is a question for Ricardo now. What is the emotion that you have the hardest time expressing? So now everybody else will put a sticky here. And then based on Ricardo's answer, we will gonna put the name. So just for the sake of time, I have a list of those questions, around 50 questions that we go and talk to each other. So, and try to learn their emotion, try to learn a little bit better from them. So that's how this game is played. And then you're gonna keep track of your score. And then at the end, you have one winner. And then it's nothing like loser. You still understand and learn from each other better. But at the same time, you have connected with the people in a better way.
So Kamal,
I just lost you
we have
because
6
of
more
the
minutes. Sorry, Neeraj, sorry to interrupt, but we've got 6 more minutes. I took a 5 minutes extension from Deepti. So we have, all of us, we have to be back at 9:35 here, India time, which will be 6 minutes from now. Okay. And the slides that you're using or the presentation that you have, it would be great if you can share it with everybody so that they can just note down the questions and just copy the slides, and
sure,
so that it is
I will
useful.
share this slides with you.
Sure,
so
perfect.
sorry, the question I was asking was because I know we have very little time. How do you interpret the scores? Because I lost you when you were explaining that. My connection dropped.
So, for example, now if I'm doing this end the presentation here, so this was a question to Ricardo. So right. Ricardo will put his name here.
No, I got that. All I'm saying is when you have scores listed against the names, different scores against the name. They could be same. How do you interpret those in the end? What would they mean? Like if Raki at 15 and Ricardo at 12 and
So it just
Manjari
means
at
that
20, what does that mean?
So it means that Raki has the more empathy than the other people. So he's or she is the person who is the most one is more trying to understand each other better.
So the lower the score, is that more the empathy, or the higher the score, is that the more empathy?
The higher the score is the more empathetic.
Okay, so that's in the end basically what it comes to. Got it.
That's right.
Thank you.
Okay, so and what score do we give to people based upon every question? So every right answer gets 1 point?
Every right answer gets 1 point. So you can create, right now I had only 4 questions created just for this session. As I was telling, this is a 3-hour activity that I'm trying. So I have more than like 40 to 50 questions that they're gonna answer each other. And then we're gonna keep going till the time like we really understand each other better.
So can you share those questions with us so that we can circulate it with the participants?
Yeah, sure, I can do that.
Great, thank you.
So in the second question, you are saying something, right? When Ricardo answer his question, so what we need to rate?
The Ricardo will put a 1 sticky here. It's like he's selecting A, B, or C, correct? So when he's saying A,
Correct.
say, for example, and the other people are saying B or C, then nobody gets the point. How many people will say A, they will get the point.
Okay.
Hey, Kamal, since you keep looking for new tools, I think this would be played awesomely on Kahoot, something like Kahoot, right? I don't know if you have explored
So
that.
you can do the Kahoot or Menti also, but in that scenario, the problem is people have to give the answers in advance.
Okay.
So like say, for example, when you're saying what makes you most happy, I can give you the questions in advance and then you answer in advance and then I can set it up the Kahoot in that way. Yes, this is another way I use Menti for that too. Only problem with that is like you have to answer the questions in advance.
Kahoot, you can play live, right? The questions
You
are
can
there.
play live.
Like a quiz.
Say, for example, now it's your question, Manjari's question. What makes you most happy? Food, friends, presents, and bonus. Everybody can put it there, but the Manjari has to answer in the Kahoot in advance what I need to put it in. So you can do that. I have actually tried that part also. There was a questions but in that way, like it's not random questions. So I have to answer or give the questions to the people who are playing much in advance. So that didn't help me that much. So I'm gonna try actually, I learned yesterday from Steve, the playingcards.io. I will try to put those cards into that playing cards and maybe that gonna be a better experience. But right now I'm using this way to do it, which is a little manual way, but it creates the idea here is not the tool. Idea here is to bring the connection and people together.
Got it.
Okay, Kamal, we are the time is almost over and everybody else has already joined the other room.
Okay.
So I guess it is time for us to close and leave and join the other room.
Yeah,
and the link to that room everybody can find in the program file.
Thanks, Kamal. This was a great
Thank you. Yeah, Kamal, thanks.
Yeah, let me know later on. My email address is also listed in the sheet. If you have any feedback on the way I can improve, as Manjari was saying, maybe try it with the Kahoot or all those.
Sure.
You can help me improve this game. It would be really appreciated.
Definitely. Thanks, Kamal.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Kamal.